What's up, y'all? How you doing this morning? Robert Kennedy III here, RK3. That's me. Welcome to another edition of the Monday Morning Get Up Show, the show where we give you a little bit of motivation, inspiration, and elevation designed to get you rocking and rolling and moving through your week. Oh yeah, we are here this morning ready to talk about digging for gold. I hope y'all are hearing this, right? Hey, y'all on Instagram, do me a favor. Just say what's up if you are on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, if you're on LinkedIn. Go ahead and say what's up. I would love to say hello to you this morning. My coach, Doris J, welcome to the show. Good to see you this morning. Rashmi, good to see you this morning. Kim D, good to see you this morning. Mohammed, good to see you this morning. Stefan, good to see you this morning. Let's see who else we have out there. Go ahead and put your name in the comments so I can see you. Hey, Mark, what's going on this morning? Good to see you. Hey, Anthony, good to see you this morning. My goodness, we have a lot of people hanging out with us today. I'm so glad that you're here this morning. It is, my gosh, it is a fabulous and phenomenal week. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Well, listen, let's jump on into the show this morning. I want to start out by simply sharing my quote. Hey, Marjorie, good to see you this morning. Eden, good to see you this morning. Let me see if I can get a couple of you on screen here. Marjorie, good to see you this morning. Eden, good to see you this morning. Yeah. All right. Listen, let's jump on into the show this morning. Our question or quote for the day is, I love this one. It is by Joyce Meyer, and it simply says, potential is a priceless treasure. Like gold, all of us have gold hidden within, but we have to dig to get it out. Right? Potential is a priceless treasure, like gold. All of us have gold hidden within, but we have to dig to get it out. I don't know if you were looking at my status or the caption for this, right? I don't know if you were looking at the caption for this. Let me turn my music down just a little bit here so that we can be together. It's in my ear. All right, cool. Got it. Okay. So I don't know if you were looking at the caption for this, but one of the things that happened in the mid 1800s, 1848 to be specific, was that there was this gold rush, right? There was this somebody found gold in California, and more than 300,000 people decided that they were going to go to California to see if they could get a little bit of this gold, right? Now, not everybody that went got gold, and there were a lot of reasons why they didn't get it. Some of it was that some people heard about it, and then they decided that they were gonna go after it was proven to them, right? They were on the back half of things. They said, nah, I'm gonna wait a little bit until other people come back and say they've got gold, and then maybe I'll go search. I don't know if this is true or not. They didn't believe that the gold existed until they saw it for themselves, right? So I want to share another example. I'm going to share a couple of examples this morning. We're talking about digging for gold. So in 2006, there was this guy named Dave Trachty, and he was in his father's house. His father had passed away, and he went to his father's house to clean up and to do some different things and to find out a little bit more about what was going on in his father's space, get his father's estate together. And here's what happened. As he was cleaning up and going through the house and really trying to figure out his father's belongings and everything, one of the things that he found was that there was this wall that was a false wall. There was a fake wall. So he and his brother, they pulled this wall out. They pulled this fake wall out, and behind that false wall, they found a painting. I don't know how many people who are on the chat or on the comments are artists, right? If you're an artist, go ahead and say me. Or if you understand or you love art, say me. Type me in the comments. Go ahead, Stefan. All right. So, hey, Davin, how you doing this morning? So one of the things that they found several things, but one of the things that they found was a famous Norman Rockwell painting. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Norman Rockwell, the painter, but his paintings, my gosh, they're worth millions of dollars, right? So here's what happened. So apparently they found this painting in behind a false wall in his house. The only problem with this was the original version of this painting, Breaking Home Ties, was already hanging in a museum, in the Norman Rockwell Museum in Massachusetts, right? So here's what they think happened. Dave's father bought the original painting for $900 in 1960, and his sons think that he made a copy, or he had a copy made, which eventually was what made its way to the museum, right? He wanted to hide the original from his wife because he had a messy divorce. And so he lent the copy to the museum while stashing or keeping the original for himself. So what happened was the artwork was then sold, and it got a price at an auction of $15.4 million. Right? Can you imagine having something so super valuable? $15.4 million. Having that in your house, in your lifetime, and having it hidden behind a false wall where nobody can do anything with it, where nobody can enjoy it, where you can't do anything with the value of it. Can you imagine that? So let me give another example here. Back in the day, many people didn't trust banks. And so what people used to do in order to keep control of their lives and their possessions, including their money and their valuables, it was common for people to bury these for safekeeping. This was just like what Dave Tracty's dad did, right? He put it behind a wall for safekeeping because as the stock market crashed and all of these different things, people weren't sure about their lives, and they felt like the safest thing for them to do was hide their money and their possessions around their homes, right? But what would happen a lot of times is that the person doing the hiding wouldn't always tell their families that they were hiding, and husbands didn't tell wives, or wives didn't tell husbands. They didn't tell their spouses that they would bury a cache of money beneath the oak tree, right? And so when everybody's gone, when both spouses are gone, the family, not knowing about this, sometimes they sell the property, the estate sale takes place, and there's this buried treasure on the property. And sometimes the new owners of the property, maybe many generations after that, happen upon this treasure, right? Unbeknownst to anybody else, right? And if you find this treasure, now it becomes yours. Why am I telling you all this morning? The thing that I'm telling you, what I'm sharing with you, is that you might be sitting on buried treasure and not even know it. Here's the thing, when people hid their treasure behind the house or down beneath the oak tree, in order to find that treasure, people have to dig, and a lot of us have buried treasure, but we're not willing to dig to find it. Let me not even say that a lot of us have buried treasure. All of us have buried treasure. All of us have treasure, because according to this quote by Joyce Meyer, potential, which all of us have, is a priceless treasure like gold, and we've got to dig to get it out. Have you ever been told that you're talented at something? Have you ever been told that that somebody sees potential in you? Have you ever been told that there's just something bubbling in you waiting to come out? If that's the case, if you've heard those words, and there's something inside of you, there's a treasure inside of you that is just waiting to come out, and you just gotta dig to find it, right? Les Brown is known for saying there's greatness within you, right? Potential is within you, and you decide that you're going to use this in order to make an impact or make a difference in the world. So let me actually explain this another way. Since we're talking about making impact, I'm a former science teacher, and in science, when I would teach my class, my physics and my physical science class, we would talk about two different types of energy. One type of energy is kinetic energy, and that's the energy of movement. And then the other energy type is potential energy, which is stored energy. So for example, let me see if I can find. I should have had a prop here, but I don't have what I wanted. So let me use this. I'm going to use this brush, right? I'm going to use this brush. So for example, if I have this brush in my hand and I decide that I'm going to drop it, when I drop it, if I were to drop it on, let's say, a sponge or memory foam or something like that, right? It makes a print or an impact when I drop it, right? So if I have it here and I drop it, it makes a print or an imprint or an impact when I drop it. Now, if I want it to make a bigger or a deeper impact, what do? I raise it higher, right? So let's go a little bit further here. Having the brush right here at this height means that now it's got a certain amount of potential energy. If I drop it, that potential energy turns into kinetic energy, which then makes an imprint or an impact when it hits that sponge, right? Now, if I hold it higher, now that means I've got more potential energy, which means that when I drop it, it turns into kinetic energy, which means that when it hits that memory foam or that sponge, it's going to make a deeper impact. So the more potential energy that I have, the greater impact I can make, right? I want you to think about that. The more potential energy that I have, the more kinetic energy is created and the greater impact that I have. Now, here's the deal. I've got this brush up here. What if I just held on to it and I never let it go? I can have it as high as I want. I can have so much potential energy. I can have all this potential energy, but if I never let it go, if I never use it, then it doesn't make the impact that it potentially can make. How many of us have potential? How many of us have stuff that we can absolutely do? How many of us have things inside of us that are great, that we're hanging on to it, we're holding on to it, we're not digging deep enough to find it? And because we're not doing that, we are not making the impact that we're meant to make, right? Miles Monroe in his book says that he has this book called Understanding Your Potential, Discovering the Hidden You. And in this book, he says, you must decide if you're going to rob the world or bless it with the rich, valuable, potent, untapped resources locked away within you. I'll say that one more time, just so I can get it right? You must decide if you're going to rob the world or bless it with the rich, valuable, potent, untapped resources locked away within you. You've got potential. You have something inside of you that, if you lean into it, is designed to make impact in the world. It's designed to transform somebody. It's designed to make a way for you. You think that your life is challenging or your life is hard or there's some things that are not meant for you. You've got potential. You've got potential energy. You've got something special inside of you that if you decide that you're going to dig, if you decide that you're just going to let go, if you decide that you're going to release that potential energy, you will see what impact you can make. This week, here's what I want you to do. I want you to figure out what is your potential. I want you to figure out what is that gift? What is the thing that you're hanging on to inside? What is the thing that you know that you can do, but you don't yet fully believe in, that if you really just grabbed onto it, or if I'm saying conflicting things. I don't want you just to grab onto it. I want you to let go. I want you to release it this week. I want you to let yourself feel the freedom of your potential. Right? Because when you let that potential energy unleash, when you unleash that potential energy, that is when you can make great impact. Like Dave Trachty, you might be holding right inside, behind that false wall, $15.4 million in value, or even greater. Like Dr. Miles Monroe says, decide if you are going to make impact. Decide if you are going to transform with your potential. Decide if you are going to rob the world or bless it with the rich, valuable, potent, untapped resources locked away inside of you. That's all we got this morning. Hey, it's time for the Monday Morning Get Up. We're here every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope that you are willing to join me next time, because I've got some fantastic messages for you the rest of this month. My gosh, I'm excited. I hope you see my excitement. I hope you see it. I hope you see it. Really, I hope you do. I hope you see my excitement this month. Do me a favor. Tell somebody about the Monday Morning Get Up. Tell somebody about the Monday Morning Get Up. I will see you next week, Monday morning. I'll see you next week, Monday morning. Hold on, we got too many things happening here. There we go. All right. I'll see you next week, Monday morning, for another episode of the Monday Morning Get Up. Tell your people, tell your friends. Yeah.